Look, let's have a serious conversation about monetization and the best ways to support streamers. So this video is going to be a little bit different than some of my other ones because typically I record these live on stream. I'm live weekdays at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/Zach Bussey. Come on by. We have these kind of conversations all of the time. And actually this video, technically I did record live about a month ago, but the result of that video was 4 hours of me doing math to come up with all of the answers. And I don't know if I could... Oh, here's a clip of it. Just to give you an idea. God, why do I feel like I'm back in high school and I'm just failing at the math class. That's correct. 100% accurate and correct and real and true. Now I've got it. Now I've got it. Now I've got it, guys. Now I've got it. The question that we were asking at the time is, what is the best way to support streamers to make sure that the most money goes into their pockets? We called it optimizing your stream support. And it's a thing that actually came up because of circumstances that were new to Twitch. It was partially related to local price subs and how that might change things. Watch my other video on that one, on how locally priced subs changes the dynamics of subathons. But this situation, Ontario started to charge tax on digital services, increasing my base sub price from $6.99 to $7.90, which is quite a lot. It's a lot of money, and considering the exchange rate, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for it to be that high. A lot of other Canadian streamers have felt that way as well. This is Tink. She got a lot of traction on this tweet. Because I'm in Canada, Twitch has made it so that I have to pay $8 to subscribe to streamers now. I'm sorry, but that's just a bit outrageous. It went from being $4.99 to $8.04. I'm sorry, but I may have to cancel some subs and just support in tips when I can. Super frustrating. It also led to a user voice. This is typically the best way to get Twitch to listen to something. Local sub pricing for Canadians. Currently, Canadians are paying $6.99, obviously asking for them to drop the price. I personally made a decision at that time that it was no longer, and this is just my personal opinion, it was no longer financially viable for me to continue to subscribe to anybody. So anybody whose streams I go to that I used to be a subscriber to, they may have noticed that I've let my sub fall off. They may have noticed that I no longer have a badge and I no longer sub to their channels. That's not anything against them. It's just purely the economics of it no longer makes sense for me. It costs too much. It costs too much. That said, one of the reasons why we developed all this math is to figure out how to best support creators. How could I still give them money without me going broke? Now, this also kind of ties in with a common belief that is had here in streamer Twitter, and probably among all streamers, although some are more vocal about it, some are a little bit shy about it. They don't want to talk about it necessarily. Perhaps they're afraid of what Twitch may do or say. I understand that. I personally always kind of feel like, hey, I'm one stream away from Twitch going, we don't want this guy spreading information anymore. So this is the sentiment. We're tired of only making 50% revenue from subscriptions. Twitch should be charging 70-30. So they take 30% cut, streamers get 70%. I fully agree with that one. Other people believe 60-40 seems more fair. 55-60 would be huge. There's a lot of beliefs on this. The problem with this sentiment is that no one is going to give you free money. Twitch as a platform, I'll tell you this, guys, right now, Twitch as a platform is not profitable. They might be close. They might be very, 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 very close, but they are not profitable yet. And so they're not going to just sign over a revenue source that potentially, I assume it's over $1 billion of their revenue. They're not just going to sign over an additional 10, 20% of that to people because we asked. That's not how business works. In order to effect that kind of change, as streamers and as a community, we're going to have to change our behaviors. We're going to have to actively discourage the products that result in a 50% cut. That means saying, hey, don't subscribe to my channel anymore and instead support me on different platforms. Support me on Patreon, support me on Ko-fi, other platforms that do have renewable subscriptions, but do not take a 50% cut. Are streamers going to be able to do that? I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. I've been saying on my stream for perhaps 2 years now that streamers need to become more financially independent of Twitch. If more of your income, if the vast majority of your income comes from Twitch in the form of bits and subs from your community, you're not going to be able to affect change to get more. In a disagreement or a fight with a company that is owned by Amazon, the only way that you're going to affect change is by hitting the bottom line. Is you are saying to Twitch, hey, I'm not going to help you financially anymore until you increase the amount, and it's going to have to be a lot of people on the platform. I'm not sure that a lot of streamers are making enough money to be able to save up the money to be able to shift shift away from subs and bits. But you're going to have a war chest in order to figure this out. So what does that mean? Well, for me, I don't personally see us getting a 70-30 split anytime soon. It's unfortunate, but I think that's the reality. But if you do believe in this sentiment, if you do want to get a higher sub split, it means taking more financial steps to become disassociated with Twitch. And the way that we did this is we figured out the exact total cost and capital loss and how much money people actually make from various different support methods. And I'm going to post this in a public blog post that you'll be able to take a look at anytime you want on creatorhype.com. Go check it out. And obviously, you're going to be able to see it here. But I think there's going to be a reason later on why you're going to want to go to creatorhype.com. So when you think about Twitch bits, here are the options that are presented to you. You can purchase it in small amounts. You get 100 bits for $1.40. Twitch takes 40 cents from that, giving a capital loss of 28.57%. That means that for every dollar you spend, 28.57% is gone immediately. The streamer does not see that money. In the best case scenario, if you purchased 250,000 bits, Twitch takes 18.83%. Now, these are outlined in yellow and orange to highlight the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. And essentially what we wanted to figure out is what was the point on other platforms, other ways that you support people through direct tips that equals those amounts or is better. And I'll show you here. PayPal. PayPal recently updated their fees. Back, this was we went with the highest amount. There's other people out there who have said that it's 2.89%, but I'm pretty sure that it's 3.49% for digital payments. But I could be wrong. In any case, this gives you a higher estimate rather than the lower end estimate. So just to give you a little bit more insurance. So here it is. If you are giving money directly to streamers via a tip on PayPal, and you compare it to the worst situation on Twitch in terms of buying bits, $1.96, which means if you're going to make a tip to somebody of $2 or $1.96, the best way to do it is through PayPal. If you're giving $1.95, $1.94, $1.93, 60 bits, 50 bits, 40, 43, 20, if you want to give anything smaller than that, the best way to do it is in bits. So there is actually reasons and ways that Twitch bits are actually more effective financially, but it's for small amounts, under $1.96. If you purchase the largest package and ultimately have the lowest loss to Twitch, that amount increases to $3.19. So if you're a streamer, you might want to set your tip goal or your minimum tip amount to about $3. You lose about 20% of your capital from the 49 cents plus the additional fee on top. And this shows you exactly how much you get in the end. $2.41 from a $3 tip. From $1.96 a tip, you get $1.40 in terms of PayPal. Now, we go one step deeper here, because one of the things that I learned about was PayPal microtransactions and se.pay, Stream Elements Pay. They both have two different ways in which you can support streamers. Here's PayPal micropayments. Micropayments is currently only available in a handful of countries, United States, I think places in Europe. You have to check their site, see if it's available to you. But you can essentially, what people have said that they can, or they told me that you can do, I can't do it as a Canadian, but you can set up a second account, and so you can have your donations go to different accounts depending on the amount of that is being given. In the case of PayPal microtransactions, micropayments, you can see here the fee is only 9 cents versus 49 cents. Additional fee is $4.99, which is a little bit higher than the $3.49. But as you can see here, 38 cents is the amount that you can donate to a streamer, which results in them getting 27 cents, that this actually makes more sense to do instead of bits. So if you again, going back to bits, because this is all compared to bits, keep in mind, if you're going to give bits, you would want to make it so that only 37 bits or less would go to streamers. So, hey, you're encouraging small amounts. So again, I know it's confusing. Even as I'm saying this, I'm going, what are you saying, Zach? I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. But the long and the short is, if you want to accept tips instead of bits, the best way to do that is for smaller amounts. Bits are more effective for smaller amounts. In this case, 65 cents in the best case scenario, 38 cents in the worst case scenario for micro payments. We got one other here because there's a direct competitor to PayPal, and that is in the form of se.pay. Similar to micropayments, it's not available in all countries. As a Canadian, it's not available to me, which sucks. But it is available to a bunch of European, the United States, of course, and other places as well. Check if they have it. They take a 28-cent fee compared to PayPal, which is now 49, and they charge a fee of 2.8% compared to PayPal, which is 3.49. So they actually have a very, very good low rate. But you can still see here, even in the lowest case amount, $1.09 given via se.pay is great. That's the best way to do it. But if you want to give less than that, if you want to give $1, if you want to give it 50 cents, 75 cents, the best way to do that would be in bits. It's more effective to go with bits in small amounts. So those are the three major ways that are alternatives to bits in how you can actually support a streamer. Again, to summarize, the TLDR, if you want to give a small amount of money to streamers in the form of less than $1 or $2, bits make sense. They do, in fact, make sense. Surprise, surprise, right in my eyes, I was not expecting that. However, if you're going to accept more, or if you hope that your tips are larger than 200 bits, 250 bits max, kinda, and you're hoping for 1,000 bits, 5,000 bits, 100,000 bits, however many bits you're actually looking for, the more economical way, by a large margin right away, is any of these other payment methods. There is a risk. There's always a risk when you do get direct tips, though, of chargebacks. It's one of the reasons why bits are ideal, so you can factor that in and determine whatever your level of risk is to make it even easier to fully understand, because the original reason why I actually created this was to figure out how I could get ad-free on the platform, how I could continue to support streamers, and yet still put money in my pockets. How could I do that? How could I do that? How is that even possible? Well, we figured it out. Twitch Turbo, for $9 a month, gives you ad-free across the platform. You'll have no ads anywhere that you go. Now, what does that mean in terms of supporting streamers? Well, we actually have a very simple calculator here. If you currently subscribe to 5 channels per month, that costs you $24.95 if you're paying $4.99. Keep in mind, all of this was based upon a $4.99 subscription. United States, Canada, this may change slightly since local pricing has come out. For the same amount of money, you could buy Twitch Turbo for $8.99, not see ads, and still tip every streamer $3.19 per month. So there you go. If you had 5 channel subs, if you consider the amount of fees that they have, they get $2.59 from PayPal. So they're already getting 10 cents more than they would from your sub. $2.94 with PayPal if they have PayPal with micropayments, $2.82 on se.pay, $2.59 in Twitch Bits, and $2.28 in Twitch Bits if you purchase the smallest package. So it gives you all of the options presented here. Now let's say you're somebody who subscribes to 50 channels. you subscribe to a ton of channels. You can actually drag this all the way up. We go up to 50. If you previously subscribed to 50 channels, it cost you $250. Now you can get Twitch Turbo for $8.99 and give streamers $4.81 each, whereas previously they were seeing $2.49. You're almost doubling the amount that you can give them through getting Turbo to still get ad-free, and then support them directly through PayPal. Even with Twitch Bits, at the worst case scenario is $3.44. They're still making $1 more than they previously were. Keep in mind, the one asterisk to that is that you lose your sub streak, you lose your sub icon, doesn't contribute to hype trains, you don't get emotes, so there are reasons why this may not be preferable for everybody, but in terms of if you're willing to accept those losses of subs, sub badges, then this may be an option for you. Keep in mind also, a little asterisk, if you give more bits, they do have bits emotes that you can unlock. And those are permanent emotes. Once you unlock them once, you get them forever. Is that better than paying $5 a month? I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you. In any case, this will be on a blog post that I post later today or early tomorrow that you'll be able to take a look at this in great detail, play with the slider, see how much you could spend or save and how much money you can give streamers directly. And yeah, if you have any questions, my DMs are always open. Comments down below. Free to use, so happy to answer them. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, do so right now. Click the like button and turn on notifications as well. All right, that's the video for today. Run the outro. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click like, click subscribe up there, and then watch this video. What else you got to do? You're on YouTube anyways. You might as well watch something else. It's right there.